Hi everyone! Today I'm back with a process video for my Life Crafted album, featuring the new products from Citrus Twist Kits November 2021 collection. One of their new ephemera packs is this Falling Leaves die-cut ephemera pack, and I felt really inspired to make a wreath of leaves on my page to frame a photo. I've seen people do this with the leaves from the Bungalow Lane collection from Paige Evans, and I thought it would be really fun to do an oval-shaped frame for this Life Crafted album page. So I have an oval template that I've printed and cut out. This is approximately 3.5 inches wide by 5.5 inch tall, and I'm just centering this on to the portion of my page, not including the very right side of the page where the holes are punched. And I traced my oval shape onto my base page. Then I stabbed a hole through the center of that oval so that I could fit my scissors in there to cut out the inside of this oval, and that gives me a guide to place my leaves. And I'm going to be placing a photo behind this frame once I'm done with my wreath. So I'm just starting in one part of that oval and working my way around the oval and just making sure that all of my leaves are going in the same direction around the frame. As I'm doing this, I'm just adhering these down with my glue stick for now, because I am going to be stitching around this oval frame once I'm done arranging my wreath. So the stitching will kind of help to keep the leaves attached onto the page as well. And as I'm laying these down, I'm making sure that I'm alternating the colors of the leaves that I'm using as well as the style of the leaves. So you'll see here that some of these leaf die cut pieces have an outline around like a solid colored leaf, and then some of them are just kind of like cut out from pattern papers. So I'm alternating between those as I'm going around this oval. The photos that I'm documenting were taken in October, but this was in an area where most of the trees are evergreen trees. And so there aren't a lot of like the traditional red and orange and yellow colors in my photos. So I really liked the colors of the leaves in this ephemera pack because you get a really nice blend of some warmer colors as well as some cooler dark teals and lavenders. So this makes the ephemera pack really versatile because you don't necessarily have to use them together with traditional fall colored photos. You can use them with other photos as well. Once I have all of my leaves adhered down into place, I'm placing that oval template back into that spot, just so that I can see more clearly where the edge of that frame is. And I'm poking some holes around the oval frame using my awl. And this is what I'm going to use as a guide to help me stitch. And because I'm poking through multiple layers of leaves in some of these spots, I did have to apply some more pressure for some of these holes to get them to puncture through all of the layers of cardstock. But the glue stick held the leaves in place long enough for me to do my stitching. Here I'm using an embroidery needle and the embroidery floss in the color number 712 from DMC. It's kind of like an ivory and light beige color. And it did take me a bit longer than usual to do this stitching because I had to make sure that none of the leaves lifted up as I was poking through all of these holes. So I paused the video recording while I did this, and you'll see in a bit that I have all of my stitching done. Next, I applied some Scor tape onto the back of my panel to tape down some of the loose ends of the embroidery floss, and also to attach my photo behind the frame. I'm documenting some more photos of our trip to Vancouver from October, and this was our trip to the famous Capilano Suspension Bridge, and that's where all the evergreen trees are for my photos. Once I've peeled off all the tape backing to attach my photo into place, I'm going to use my Tombow Mono Permanent Adhesive Tape Runner to attach a back panel to this page as well, and that's just to hide all of the mechanism with the stitching and the seams of that photo. One of the new items in the Citrus Twist Kits shop this month that I'm super excited about is this sheet of puffy stickers designed by Elif Sahin of Sahin Designs. These are called the Changing Seasons puffy stickers. And the reason why I'm so excited to see these is because I've always wanted to try out her products, but I tend to shy away from product lines that are solely digital because I do like playing around with different textures in my life crafted albums. So these puffy stickers were just perfect for me, and I love the cute and whimsical designs in here. So from this puffy sticker sheet, I used 3 of the small leaves to go around my oval frame just to add a bit more dimension and texture to that wreath. And I'm also using the circle sticker that says Everyday Blessings at the bottom of my photo there. Moving on to the right side of my spread, I had printed out this new set of gratitude digital journaling cards from the Citrus Twist Kits website, and I thought these colors would go perfectly with the leaves on the left side of my spread because they do have some of those pinks and dark teals as well as the oranges and yellows. I have a lot of photos to include on this page, and one of the ways I've included lots of photos in the past was to create a waterfall of photo flaps just in a row, each with a photo behind them. So in this spread, I'm going to do something similar, but I'm going to stagger all of the photo flaps so that they're not directly on top of each other, but they kind of provide a layered effect with all of these pocket cards once I'm done. So here I'm just arranging the pocket cards, starting from the bottom of the page and working my way up. And as I'm doing this, I'm making sure that I have enough room, about at least ½ an inch wide, between each of the pocket cards to adhere that pocket card down onto my base page. For the pocket cards with words on them, I'm also making sure that the words are mostly covered up when I have all of my cards adhered down, lying flat on the page, because I didn't want any random words peeking out from the sides. Once I have the cards in the order that I want them to be in, going from the top to the bottom, I'm going to score all of these cards at ½ an inch from the top, which gives me a ½ an inch hinge that I can then apply some Scor Tape to adhere these flaps onto my page. And when I had picked the journaling cards that I wanted to go on this page, I had made sure to pick ones that it wouldn't matter if I scored and folded that top of the pocket card ½ an inch away from the top of the card. So you'll see here that I'm applying my 3/8 inch Scor Tape to the hinge on the fronts of the pocket cards. And then I'm folded that hinge behind the pocket card so that I can adhere that to my base page. And I'm just going to double check on the placement of these cards one last time before I adhere everything down. I wanted to make sure all the pocket cards were evenly distributed from top to bottom. Like I didn't want all of them to be bunched up at the bottom or bunched up at the top, for example, because that would create a bit more bulk in that one area of this spread. Once I have my photo flaps attached, I'm going to add my photos behind the photo flaps before I add any of my embellishments. So I've cut my photos down to 3 1/4 inches tall by 2 3/4 inches wide, which gives about an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around the photos once they're adhered to the back of these photo flaps. And I'm just using my Tombow permanent adhesive tape runner to adhere these down. With these photo flaps, I was able to fit 8 photos onto this one page here. And once I've adhered all of my photos down, then I'm going to start decorating the fronts of these pocket cards with a combination of the falling leaves die-cut ephemera, the puffy stickers, and these Simple Moments gold word phrase stickers that are also new to the Citrus Twist Kits shop this month. And again, I'm making an effort not to have any words half peeking out from behind my photo flaps. But I did intentionally let some of the leaves peek out from behind a couple of the photo flaps, just to give the page a more layered look. I think it's just kind of like a pet peeve of mine if an interactive element hides part of a word but not the whole word. So that's why I had to rearrange some of the elements on these pages over and over again to make sure that that doesn't happen. The lighting in my photos wasn't the best because there was very strong sunlight coming in from above the trees, and that created a lot of shadows with the trees where we were standing beneath the trees. So I'm glad that I was still able to include all of these photos in this layout, but make the journaling cards and the embellishments the focus of my layout as opposed to the photos. You'll notice as I'm decorating my journaling cards that I really like layering the word phrase stickers on top of one or two leaf die cut pieces. And I kind of played around with having some of the leaves coming in from the bottoms of the journaling cards and some of the ones coming in from the tops of the journaling cards. And I like the effect that that mixture gives to this layout. Just a little side note here. In one of the areas just before the suspension bridge where we had visited, there was a display with some small pumpkins that were perched on top of some tree trunks as decorations, and my sister thought they were so cute that she just had to take a picture of them. So I had to include that tiny pumpkin puffy sticker in my spread as well to kind of give a nod to that. After I finish embellishing my page, I'm going to finish up this side of the page by printing some journaling on some clear sticker paper and adding that to the bottom peach-colored card off screen, just where that white section in the middle is with that card. And that finishes up my right side of the page. Now, I was a bit worried that the edges of these photo flaps would catch on the delicate leaves that I had on the other page and potentially lift them up and wreck them. Particularly when I'm flipping through the pages in my Life Crafted album. So I decided to print out a vellum page to stick between these two pages to prevent that from happening. This pattern paper came in the Basics and Ledgers digital pattern paper pack from September's release, and you can also buy physical copies of these just printed on normal cardstock, and they're sized at 6x8 from the Citrus Twist Kits shop as well. But I've printed out mine on vellum, and I printed mine slightly larger as well, about 8 3/8 of an inch tall, and cropped it to 5 inches wide to be the same size as a full-sized page protector. And this ledger serves as a perfect place for me to stamp out the title for my layout as well, which is just going to be the name of the place we visited. That's the Capilano Suspension Bridge. Here I'm using the new Harper Alphabet stamp set, and I just love this worn out typewriter font. I have a similar one from Hero Arts that's been retired for many years, and it's just so nice to have an alternative that I can recommend in my videos when my subscribers ask me for similar fonts. So I'll definitely be using this one lots now that I have that in my stash. I'm using my Jet Black Archival ink to stamp this out, just because the surface of the vellum is a bit slick, and I wasn't sure if my usual black ink would dry on vellum properly. To get my title approximately centered on the page, I had used my Tim Holtz design ruler, that's the ruler at the top of my page here, to find the center of the page, and then I wrote out each word on a scrap piece of paper and stamped the middle letters first towards the middle of the page, then worked my way outwards on the right side, then outwards on the left side. And I am referencing that scrap piece of paper off screen, so it's not like I'm a super pro at spelling all of these words backwards or anything. I am cheating a bit here. After that, I stamped the date onto the bottom of my page, just beside where it says recorded. And because the stamp set doesn't come with a comma stamp, I took the semicolon and carefully cut it in half, separating that dot at the top with the comma at the bottom. So now I can use that bottom part as a comma whenever I want, and if I ever were to stamp a semicolon, I can just mount the two separate pieces on the same stamping block, and that becomes a semicolon again. Because the rest of my Life Crafted album pages always have the date stamped in my Heidi Swapp roller date stamp, I am going to keep this consistent as well by stamping the date again onto one of my journaling cards. And I finished the vellum page by sticking one of the gold word phrase stickers on either side of the vellum, making sure to use ones that were the same size so that they cover each other up, so that the word phrase stickers don't show through when you flip over to the other side of the vellum. You'll notice that I did add a couple of small tags from the digital gratitude kit to the bottoms of some of my journaling cards with the ribbon attached. And that's just because there was one area of my peach journaling card where my typed journaling was peeking out, and that really bothered me. So I added that striped tag to hide the journaling behind that one journaling card, and then I added the dark teal tag as well so that I didn't just have that one tag on my page, and I was a lot more satisfied with my layout after that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you liked this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more process videos. Thanks so much for watching!